So next topic is about the protocols which are used in the data link layer to form frames. I'll repeat. The protocols which are used to form frames once the packet is sent from the network layer to data link layer, right? So data link layer will form the frames once packet is sent from the network layer to data link layer, right? So to create frames for the received packet, it follows two methods. One is high-level data link control, and the next one is point-to-point protocol. Okay, or you can see PPP. Okay, three P's. Okay, so first we'll discuss. Actually, HDLC is not there in the syllabus, but it is used in most of the devices to create the frames. Okay, so I'll just give you what a gist about this, what are important things. Okay, so HDLC is one of the protocols, that is high level data link control. It is a protocol which is used to create the frames. Okay, so to create a frame, certain protocols need to be followed. What is protocol? Set of rules or the set of guidelines to do a particular task, right? So one such protocol is high level data link control, HDLC. Okay, and here I'll just tell you what are the important things. Okay, HDLC defines three types of frames. One is information frames, you can call it as iframe. Second one is supervisory frames. Third one is unnumbered frames. Okay, so information frames, there are two types of frames. Okay, I mean one is the content which is included in the frame. One is with respect to user data. Okay, so the actual data that need to be delivered. Another content is about control information. So these are the things which are included in the frames. One is user data, that is actual data that need to be delivered to the receiver, from sender to receiver. Okay, the next thing is control information. Control information is that it like providing the password. Say if you want to connect your device to a Wi-Fi router, obviously you firstly you will switch on the Wi-Fi router, right? And then the Wi-Fi connection in your cell phone. So to connect to the Wi-Fi router, the Wi-Fi router will send the message. See, I am active. Okay, so it will send the message to the nearby devices. That means it will tell that I am active. So your cell phone will if your device want to connect to that particular Wi-Fi router, you have to authenticate, right? So you will tell, oh yeah, I would like to join your network or the Wi-Fi router. Okay, so that the messages that are shared between the devices, so that such information we call it as control information. It may be the password taking the password from the Wi-Fi router and logging to the particular network is also control information. Actual data is what? Say you want to send a message, say hi. Okay, that need to be delivered to the receiver. That we call it as actual data. This control information, as I said, when Wi-Fi is router, it will send the message to all the nearby devices which are active, Wi-Fi active, right? So that message we call it as control information. Then if you want to connect to the router, you will enter the password, right? So that message, that data will be sent to the Wi-Fi router. If it is authenticated, then this Wi-Fi will allow you to connect to that particular router, right? So this is nothing but control information. So one such frames where user data and the control information are included, that type of frame we call it as information frames. Okay, and the second type of frame is supervisory frame. See, this frame is used only to transport control information. As I said, the example of Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi router. Okay, and the third type is unnumbered frames. What is unnumbered frames? See, the frames which are required for the system management. That means these are the frames which are reserved for the system management. See, this is basically used by the network administrator. Say the one who looks after the network. Say in our college we have a Wi-Fi network, right? And a particular person has been assigned as a network admin, right? So that person will look after the network of this college campus. So if any particular system is down, if the particular system is not connected to the college internet, then he'll check from his system why it is not connected. He'll send a certain what frame to a particular system to check why it is not connected. Okay, so such information which is transferred or the transported between the system is called as U frames. Okay, so that means these frames are used for the troubleshooting in the network. Okay, so these are the three types of frames that is created with the help of HDLC protocols. Okay, the first is information frames, second one is supervisory frames, and third one is unnumbered frames. Okay, so this is important thing in the HDLC protocol. Okay, so these are the format of the frames. So where you can see the flag is present, which specifies the start of the frame and end of the frame. See, as I said, this protocol is used to create frame, right? So what does it mean? This protocol has to create what is the starting of the frame, ending of the frame, what is address need to be included, what are the control information need to be included, and what is the actual data need to be delivered, and also redundant bits for the error detection and correction, right? So all these things will be taken care by this HDLC protocol. Okay, so this first format is iframe. Okay, where the actual data and the control information is transferred. Okay, and next is S frame, supervisory frame. Only here the control information will be transported. And the last one U numbered, as it is reserved for the management information, that is where the control information will be shared specifically for the troubleshooting of the network. Okay, these are the three different frames that is created with the help of HDLC protocol. Okay, so this HDLC protocol is used in real time in many of the network devices. Okay, and I'll move on to the next one, that is point-to-point protocol. This is there in your syllabus. So in point-to-point protocol, as I said, even this protocol is used to create the frame. That means how actually a frame need to be created for the received packet from the network layer in the network. Okay, so here this is the PPP frame format. See here in this case you don't have three different types as we studied in HDLC. Okay, in PPP you have only one type of frame format that is represented in this form. As you can see here, it has flags at the beginning of the frame and ending of the frame, and it has address also, that is which is the source for this frame and the destination device for this frame. I mean, to which receiver node this particular frame need to be delivered. And then the control information that is required for the receiver. Okay, and the last, and the next one is protocol. So what is the protocol used for this frame, that is included, and as well as what actual data is need to be delivered to the receiver, that is included. And the next one is FCS. This field reserved for error correction and detection. So altogether you can say it is used for error control. And the last one, as you know, it specifies end of the frame. Okay, in the exam if they ask you to explain PPP, you must explain, first you have to write this frame and explain each field of this frame. Okay, this is all about PPP frame format. And let's see what are the features of this protocol. Okay, the first one is what? As I said, it defines the format of the frame. Like the frame need to be created in this format. That is the first feature. And the next one, this PPP defines how two devices can negotiate the establishment of link and the exchange of data. Okay, so as you know, data link layer is responsible for node to node delivery, or you can say hop to hop delivery, what we discussed in the first module. Okay, so in the network, as you know, from source to destination, in between, there may be multiple networking devices, network connecting devices, maybe switch, maybe router, maybe hub, maybe repeater, maybe gateway, right? So the duty of data link layer is what? Uh, the frame from the sender node need to be delivered to the next device in the network. Okay, that we call it as hop to hop delivery, right? So the second point says this protocol defines how to establish the link between the sender node and the next device in the network. See, this next device need not to be the receiver end. It can be a switch, a router, anything. Okay, so that's why this PPP protocol defines how between two devices, how a link can be established and exchange of data. That will be taken care. And the third one, this PPP defines how network layer data are encapsulated in the data link frame. See, here you can see here the flag need to be added, right? So what is the header content, what is the trailer content, right? Everything need to be taken care by this PPP. Okay, that is what about encapsulation. So as you know, the data is transmitted from one layer to next layer. Encapsulation happens at the sender side, right? And decapsulation happens at the receiver side when it reaches a particular layer, right? So that will be taken care. Encapsulation is taken care by the point-to-point protocol. Okay, and next, PPP defines how two devices can authenticate each other. It says how two devices can authenticate each other. See, as I consider the example like connecting your device to the Wi-Fi router, right? So as you know, you have to switch on your Wi-Fi connection and Wi-Fi connection, and router need to be active, and router will send the message like I'm active to the nearby devices. When the particular device come in contact with that message, particular device receives that message, and it says that I would like to join your network, then your device must be authenticated, right? You have to enter your password. You have to enter the Wi-Fi password to connect to the Wi-Fi router, right? So this authentication will be taken care by the point-to-point protocol. Okay, so that is about what point-to-point protocol. Fine. And next one, point-to-point protocol provides multiple network layer services supporting a variety of network layer protocols. So as we have not started studying the network layer, you just remember these points. Once you study the network layer protocols, then you will understand this point in much better way. Okay, and next one is PPP provides connections over multiple links. Okay, and PPP provides network address configuration. This you will understand once you study the network layer and the protocol used in the network layer. Okay, and here in PPP you can see where is it? Yeah. So as I said, this is the format, right? Now we'll move on to the limitations of PPP. Limitations are this doesn't provide flow control. So it doesn't provide flow control. What does it mean? See, once the sender sends the message, the receiver should acknowledge it, right? That is not properly implemented in this protocol. That's why this says it doesn't provide flow control. Okay, and the next one is PPP has a very simple mechanism for error control. As you can see here, error control, this field deals with error control, right? So this is a 2 to 4 bytes. It says very simple error control mechanisms are implemented. So very simple error control mechanisms are implemented in PPP protocol. That means CRC is not implemented here. Not the internet checksum is implemented here. Here, the simple one which we studied in the previous model, that is maybe parity check, uh, block coding. So such schemes are implemented in this PPP protocol. That's why the error control is very poor here. Okay, and the next one, PPP doesn't provide a sophisticated addressing mechanism to handle frames in a multi-point configuration. See here in this frame format, you can see the address field is resolved with 1 byte. Okay, so actually data link layer deals with MAC address, that is permanent address of a device. Okay, that will be of 6 bytes. Okay, but here the field reserved is only 1 byte. Okay, so that's why this protocol it is not providing a better addressing mechanism. Okay, so actually in real time the implementation of this is not this protocol is not used much because of these drawbacks. Okay, but this is one of the protocol used to create the frames once network layer sends the packet to the data link layer. Okay, and the last one, the transition phase of PPP. Here you can see initially, see this image shows how the transition happens in PPP. When point-to-point protocol is used in the data link layer, what are the transition phases followed is given with the help of this image. Okay, so initially uh, what data link layer of the sender node will be in the dead state. Okay, so once the packet received from the network layer, what is the duty of this data link layer? It has to create frames, right? So that once frames are created, it has to establish the connection with the next node in the network. That is, it may be a switch. Okay, so that establishing, which switch it has to find out to which switch the frame need to be transmitted. That is the duty of the data link layer of the sending node. So finding the path to the particular switch to which it can transmit the frame, that we call it as carrier detected. Okay, so if it is not able to establish the connection, then it fails and again it will try out. Okay, so once the connection is made, logical connection is established to the next node in the network. Okay, you have to check for the authentication. Okay, if the particular node is authenticated, then that means authentication is successful, then you will be connected to the network. Okay, after performing network layer configuration, which we will be studying in the next module. Okay, after network layer configuration, you can send the frame, you can send, data link layer of the sending node will send the send frame to the next node in the network. Okay, once the transmission is done, it will terminate, and the same will be given to the other connection which are waiting to transmit the frames. So after terminating, the carrier will be dropped. Okay, this is how the PPP protocol works. Okay.